Hello, my name's Diego Sosa, and today for our biology capstone, we're talking all about cell structures and functions. Now, before this, let's talk about a cell. The cell is the basic unit of a living organism. In multicellular organisms, a collection of cells that work together to perform a similar function is called a tissue. Now, let's talk about the types of cells. Cellular organisms contain a vast majority of highly specialized cells. Plants contain root cells, leaf cells, and stem cells. Humans have skin cells, nerve cells, and sex cells. Each kind of cell is structure function. But what about the sensory cells? Sensory cells are cells that detect information from the outside environment and transmit that information to the brain. Sensory cells often have unusual shapes and structures that contribute to their functions. Now let's talk about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Two types of cells are recognized in living things, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. The word prokaryotes literally means before the nucleus. As the name suggests, prokaryotes are cells that have no distinct nucleus. We know what prokaryotes are, but what about eukaryotes? The term eukaryotes means true nucleus. Eukaryotes have a distinct nucleus and distinct organelles. What is an organelle? An organelle is a small structure that performs a specific set of functions within a eukaryote cell. These organelles are held together by membranes. In addition to the lack of nucleus, prokaryotes also lack these distinct organelles. Let's talk about the structures and functions of cells. The basic structure of all cells, whether prokaryotes and eukaryotes, is the same. All cells have an outer covering called a plasma membrane. What is a plasma membrane? The plasma membrane holds the cell together and permits the passage of substance into and out of a cell. With a few minor exceptions, plasma membranes are the same in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. The interior of both kinds or cells is called the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm of eukaryotes are embedded the cellular organelles. Finally, both types of cells contain small structures called ribosomes. You may be saying, what are ribosomes? Ribosomes are the sites within cells where proteins are produced. Proteins are large molecules that are essential to the structure and function of all living cells. Ribosomes are not bounded by membranes and are not considered, therefore, to be organelles. What about the structures of prokaryotes? Example of a typical prokaryote is the bacterial cell. Bacterial cells can be shaped like rods, spheres, or corkscrews, like all cells. Prokaryotes are bounded by a plasma membrane. What does the plasma membrane do in this situation? Surrounding this plasma membrane is the cell wall. In addition, in some bacteria, a jelly-like material known as a capsule can coat the cell wall. Let's talk more about a nucleus. The nucleus is a storehouse for most of the genetic information or DNA in your cells. DNA contains genes that are instructions for making protein. What are the two major demands on the nucleus? Number one, DNA must be carefully protected, and number two, DNA must be available for use at the proper times. Now back to cells. Cells, however, can also exist as single-celled organisms. The organism is called protist. Any of a group of eukaryote organisms belonging to the kingdom Protista, the capsule provides an extra layer of protection. And that's it. Oh, like all the camera parts? So I just ignore the voice? Alright.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about prokaryotes and eukaryotes.
Do that again. You said that all wrong.
Karyotes.
Keep going. Don't have to look at me.
And functions of cells.
Do that again.
Should I make it sound more like a question instead of like I'm just saying it?
Yeah, because you're just sounding like a robot.
Alright. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm going to say. No wait, let me say that again. That sounded so normal. You may be saying, what ribosomes? What ribosomes?
Oh my god, stop doing that.
Doing what?
Alright, go.
Doing.
It's ribosomes, go.
You may be saying what ribosomes?
Alright, ready? Go.
You may be saying what are ribosomes? You be saying what are
Dude, I pause it every time you mess up.
And that's it.
Do it. Go.
And that's it.